How's it going, guys? This is Rio Murata, photographer based in Tokyo. So this is sort of like a surprising news actually. I recently purchased a custom-made Zine from Fujifilm. And if you don't know, in Tokyo, Japan, or if you live anywhere not anywhere in Tokyo, but if you live anywhere in Japan actually, Fujifilm has a service where you can basically make your custom-made, in Japan, I guess you guys call it, we call it like on-demand, custom-made books, magazines, for people who casually want to sort of share their memories or document their like memories of trips and any kind of stuff related to life. And they're officially called PhotoZines on their website, and you can basically make these online if you're living in Japan, and it's sort of like made towards the consumers, not for the professionals. And Fujifilm actually makes 3 varieties of these like custom-made PhotoZines. One is a book type, another one, let me re-say that. One is called a PhotoZine Book, and another one is called a PhotoZine Magazine, and last but not least, there's another one called a PhotoZine Slim actually. And in the end of the video, I'm going to be sharing the one that I made in particular, but before that I had to like explain each and every one what's different and so forth, so stay tuned. First one is called the PhotoZine Book. The PhotoZine Book is basically, as the title says, it is a type of a book, and it's made for people who want to put a lot of like images, photos onto a single book. And because it is a book, it comes with a traditional sort of like a front cover, and it also comes with sort of like a translucent cover on top of that for extra protection. And it comes in various sizes from A6 to up to A5. And there's also a square format if you're interested, if you shoot with a Hasselblad actually. And the price really fluctuates depending on how many pages there are and the size of that book, if it's A6 or A5. I will put a sort of like an image in the end of the video of how much it would cost, but it could go from 16 pages minimum to up to 200 pages maximum, which is, if you have a lot of images, the PhotoZine Book is the way to go. Okay, the second one is called the PhotoZine Magazine. The PhotoZine Magazine is more for people who do not want to make a book, people who don't want to be super serious, but want sort of like a casual way of presenting their work. And unlike the book, it's sort of like much more thinner and it's easier to like carry around. And because it is a magazine, the size gets a little bit bigger than the book. It goes from A5 to A4, and because it is a magazine format, you will get less like pages, from 12 to 36. So if you have like a lot of, or not a lot, but a small portion of photos that you want to display, maybe it's sort of like in a casual manner, the PhotoZine Magazine is the way to go. Last but not least that Fujifilm has to offer for their casual sort of like PhotoZine series is the PhotoZine Slim. And this is a really interesting one because when I first looked at it, it reminds me of back in the days, you know, when we shoot like film, if we shoot with 35, we make these, in Japan we call it contact sheets. I guess you guys call it index sheets or something like that. And you basically bake all the images onto this one like sheet, and you basically like view them and just circle the ones that you want to be printed or enlarged, you know. And this PhotoZine Slim is basically something like that. It basically makes a sort of like a contacts index type of sheet, and it basically displays all the photos that you've taken into these small like image type of like photo sheet. I don't know what you guys would call it, but what's unique about this is that on one sheet you can have like 36 images. And like I said, it looks like an index sheet back in the days, but it's more like a digital version of that. So that's like quite neat. And they, same as the magazine, if I'm right, they come in the size of A5 to A4, and depending on how much, you know, pages you want, you can basically increase that number to a couple of sheets and make it into somewhere like a smaller like magazine type of slim profile book. And over again, but A6 size is roughly 105 millimeter by 148 millimeter, and probably people in North America don't know the size of that, so put in some reference images of what it would look like. Probably the similar size as a smartphone, a little bit bigger than a smartphone, so it's like really tiny actually. And yeah, And I actually made 2 copies, like one for myself and one for my parents because they must be really bored. So by the time they're watching this video, they'll be probably looking at the images inside. And honestly, I actually love how they have these, like Fujifilm has these like services for the consumers at an affordable price. Actually, the one that I made, the PhotoZine book, actually one copy was like 13, it was like 1,400 yen for each, like for each book. It was like 1,400 yen, so that's like $12 per book if I'm right. So I made 2 copies, so that's like $24 actually. So I mean, depends on where you live actually if that's expensive or not, but in my opinion that isn't that expensive. Like if it's like high top quality, high top paper, high quality use of paper and stuff like that, I mean it's gonna cost probably more than $50, more than $100 for just 1 or 2 book. So I mean, if you compare it with that, it's like the quality isn't that great, but for people like me who want to casually sort of like showcase my work to people and have something to like talk about and have something with me when I'm like traveling, so they know what I'm shoot most of the time, not just amusement parks, but get an idea of like what I do, you know. And it's a great way to like showcase other people what you like to do. And in my case, I like to shoot photos, film photos, and yeah, a way to like showcase your work is important, you know. So when I initially got it, it looked really nice in my opinion, due to the fact that the one I got was actually an A6 size, and this is sort of like the A6 size is really what you call not common, found in North America probably, but in Japan, and this is sort of like a cultural thing actually, but in Japan, a light novel, light what you call non-fiction or fiction type of books are actually printed on A6 size, and in Japan we call it bunkobon. Sticking a size reference for you guys, but if you compare it with a North American like typical like best-selling book or something, it's completely really small. And as you may have noticed, this book that I printed, I wanted to get it really small, so I went with the A6 size to display my sort of like cute work about lomography series around the, you know, amusement parks and stuff like that, and it looked really cute in my opinion, you know. And like I said, it comes with a front cover, sort of like a cover that covers the book itself, and it comes with a protection layer, a translucent one, which obviously really looks nice in my opinion, due to the fact that because there's this sort of like translucent layer in front of the official cover, it kind of blurs out the sort of like the title and stuff, so you don't know until you like open the book. So that's like one of the things that I love about it. This is like hard to like sum up for you guys, but I mean, this is like something that photography can do while videography, cinematography can't do. Although, you know, video, like Hollywood movies, are still being shot on film, the end results obviously for cinema is on screen, right? So, however, photography on the other hand, you can basically print them, and that's just something that we should cherish and we should take account for, because photography isn't just looking at Instagram feeds, looking at images online on Flickr or any kind of social media, but the important thing is getting it printed. And by getting it printed, it makes other people know that you're really into that type of field. And by having one, and I'm basically I am going to be carrying this like Zine around if I'm like traveling, so people can know what I shoot. And people might initially think, oh, I only shoot amusement parks or something like that, but it's sort of like a conversation starter for some people. And for me, like having it printed makes a sort of like a, it kind of expresses your like who you are, kind of your what is my identity, you know, kind of. So it's hard to explain, but I guess because I like work as an e-commerce photographer, I shoot digitally and the end results digitally, it goes on websites and never gets printed. So I mean, this is like something that we should like really cherish, that film is still being produced today, and and we can actually get them printed in a lab if we want to, if we have the money and stuff like that. But I'm taking that in a different video hopefully in the future. But like this is like great about like photography. Like I said, we can get it printed if we want, and because these like companies like Fujifilm are offering these consumer level type of services which never existed like 10-20 years ago, we can basically print our work on an affordable price, which is really magnificent, you know. and it's only $10 or $20, and depending on where you live might cost a little bit more, but I think it will cost, it's not that expensive, you know. And having some kind of work out and showing it to other people might make you a better photographer in the long term. So yeah, so hope you enjoyed this video, and thumbs up if you ever printed like a photography book, not too serious, maybe a Zine. I would like to sort of like, if you have it like posted online or anywhere, I would love to like see them. And yeah, if you have any questions regarding this type of Zine, please leave it in the comments below. I'm happy to reply. So yeah, see you next time. Peace.